RKC in Santa Fe, New Mexico, DKB Fitness. I would like to talk about the press today, and this is a double or single overhead press from a rack position. So I'm actually just going to jump ahead and start with doubles, but this is going to apply to a single press. So come on up, Brittany. This is Brittany. She's going to double clean her kettlebells into a rack position. Go ahead and step in. So let's just look at what she does first. Go ahead and press. And bring it back down. Okay, I'm going to point something out. She's going to do it again. Do it again. Look at this movement of pressing the ribs forward and pull it back. And bring it down. Okay. So this is really common. She's not doing it a lot, but if you didn't see it, there was a little bit of a movement pushing the chest forward as she drives out, which is okay, except when you're using your back like this to get your kettlebells up, you could really crank your back into a bad position. So this time when she presses, I'm going to ask that she press with her glutes pulled in tight and her quads pulled up, staying very, very tight, watching that the ribs actually stay down. So there's no flare in the ribs to push the kettlebells out. So from here, she's going to stay down in the ribs and use her strength rather than her back and her momentum to push the kettlebells up. Sometimes you'll find that people actually cannot do that, and that's okay. If that's not going to happen, go down and wait, see if you can do it without the flaring, and then build up to that true strength. Okay, so here she comes. Go ahead and double clean. And let's just see what she does. So she's pressing, and that was beautiful. And pulling down. Is that harder? Yeah. It's harder. And again. Good. And pull down. Good. And rest. I'll bring it all the way down. So it's much better. You can see that her ribs are not flaring in this position. Now, what we're going to look at is, as she's coming up, she's taking it a little short. And you'll find that a lot of people, you will see a lot of people do this. As the kettlebells start to get heavy, or if your mobility is a little restricted, you'll see people start to push the kettlebells forward. And what can happen is you can overstrain the shoulders. You can get into rotator cuff injuries, all kinds of stuff that you don't want to get into. So from her rack position, I'm going to ask that she take her rack and pull her kettlebells down a little bit. So she has this tendency to keep them up here. So the kettlebells are going to drop a little bit more. She's going to keep her ribs down just as we cued before, but this time she's going to think about pushing into the kettlebell, which is here, right? So kettlebell's here, and she's going to push her wrist into the kettlebell, so maybe she can push the kettlebells back away from her more rather than them getting so heavy that she's trying to push them in front of her body. So remember, the benefit, one of the many benefits of kettlebell is that the weight is going to be on the back side of the body. So as she pushes back, she loads the back side of the body. See? And at the end, here she is stacked, her arm over her leg. So loading the back side of the body rather than the front side of the body and overdoing the shoulder. So here she goes again. Good. Stepping in. We're going to look for the ribs, and we're going to look that this comes back. Yep. Good. And from here, again. And that is much better. Go ahead and bring it down. Does that feel harder? All right. Good. I hope you learned something today, and thanks for joining us.